Good afternoon, traders. It is Monday, January 25th, 2016, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, we had an absolutely terrible day today. Of course, I knew on Friday there was a good chance we were going to have a terrible day because we had negative $19,000 in open trade that we carried over the weekend. All I can say is that we managed to get a little better than that. We ended up closing out negative 15,000 rather than negative 19,000, but that's a small consolation. I mean, these are still big losses. What really hurt us today, as far as I'm concerned, we can't seem to stay out of falling markets, and usually we're able to do that. We were not able to do that today. We got into 11 new positions. 4 of them are positive, 7 are negative, and we are carrying negative $11,000 on those 11 positions, about $1,000 a piece on average. It doesn't look good at all. So $15,000 closed out, carrying negative $11,000. That's pretty grim. I mean, that's pretty darn horrible, as a matter of fact. Dow fell 208 points. I tried to keep my mind off all this by reading the New York Times today, and I did see something interesting. New York Times is saying over 11 trillion, that's trillion dollars in equity value was wiped out globally since the beginning of the year. So this has been definitely, at least for me, the roughest beginning of any year. So I have contributed somewhat to that $8 trillion in loss of equities. I can show you a few things. I mean, you know, I don't have, well, I do have one good thing to show, but here I'll show you some of the stuff today. This is okay. This is our insane stock. If you think that trading can possibly be sane, this should dispel any illusions. This is BTU. It's Peabody Energy. This is a new stock for us. On Friday, we ended up buying this darn thing almost at the top of the market, and then it collapses. And down here, I'm down like $10,000 on this. $10,000 in the hole. Now, you know, I was really tempted just to get out of it. I'm looking at this and seeing what I call a crossover pattern here, and what possibly good can come out of it. Maybe I just get out of it and stop thinking of, but I hung on to it. And it did close a little better. I think we're down $6,000-7,000 on the close. Look at the set this morning. It just takes off. By the way, it didn't open really high, but then it immediately starts moving as we get into the day. And unfortunately, this move is so powerful, it triggered a hold on our system. So we didn't get out at the normal place. Up here, this thing has gone from negative 10,000 down here to positive 4,000 or 5,000 up here, and then right before we finally get out of it, it pulls back. We ended up losing $400 on it. So it was lucky I did not get out down here when it was negative $10,000, but still, I wish I'd gotten out up here. I mean, that would have been poetic justice anyway. BTU was a tough stock to trade, as was all these. I'll show you, let's see, what else I want to show you. Oh, this is a new one too. This is DGAZ, DGAZ. It's in effect a short on natural gas. Okay, and hey, tell me, how could we lose so much money in a short on natural gas in this environment, but we did. We bought this thing on the gap up, and it just collapsed. And then it starts coming back up at the end. We're negative $4,000. My prediction is this thing is going up tomorrow, though, and we might get out of this, get lucky like we were in Peabody Energy. We'll have to see. Finally, I want to show you one good one here that's kind of interesting, if I can find it here. Let's see. I'm sorry. We got, here we go. This is a new stock for us too. This is AVXL, which is Anavex Life Sciences. And look at this thing. You know, it opens, it actually was negative for a good part of the day, and then it just comes on really powerful here. We buy this thing on the last 15 minutes of the day, and you know something, we're holding like $2,000 profit in this. Even, you know, just getting something in last 15 minutes a day, and it's just screaming by then, but we're actually holding close to $2,000 in that. So that looks real good. And, you know, because of this and a couple other stocks, I see this buying coming in at the last minute. I'm thinking possibility the Dow could go up tomorrow. Anyway, we'll have to see. This is Trader Bob signing off after a terrible day. We'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday.